This is Egungu Lagata.
And I'm like, wait!
Lagata.
Wait, you got Lagata on your own. Is this our Egungu Yoruba?
They clearly didn't get the joke.
Your Lagata used to do... This one used to do CPC. You have Lagata, some call it Olaga.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What?
We are currently at Agbara and it shows 44 minutes to our destination. I can't wait. It's been a while since I embarked on this kind of long journey. I might say it's a little bit tiring, but it is still fun at the same time. So let's see what adventure we have in place. Most times when we embark on a trip, we don't actually have an idea of what we are going to do there. So we just allow time to play. This particular area is a little bit rowdy. It's busy. It's the first time I think I've been to this place because the last time I went to Cotonou, I used the boats, and this place is close to the border. I can see some immigration, customs, and we're not even close to the border yet. So you don't know what they do for this side?
That side is like maybe because honestly that maybe foreign people that they have not been they're very dirty.
Okay, they're burying foreigners there.
Some foreigners, but the cemetery of the foreigners they are in that side.
Okay.
Where they always bury foreign people.
Okay, thank you. Take this one. Okay, we are finally at the Badagry Slave Museum. I don't know if I got it right. We arrived there just 1 minute ago, and it's a long trip from the island, but it's worth it. I enjoyed the road trip. Like I said earlier on, it's been a while since I embarked on this kind of long trip, but I enjoyed it, and it feels so good. This place seems a little bit empty, but maybe it's because of the time we arrived, because this is about 9:41 over here. So maybe let's see what we have in stock over here in the Slave Museum.
I arrived at the Slave Museum and I was welcomed by my tour guide.
Hello. Yeah, are you the tour guide?
Yeah, good morning, I'm the tour guide. Yeah. My name is
Okay. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yes, please come inside. So well, you're welcome. So this museum is all about transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
And in the museum, we have 9 sections on slave trade. Here you have the diagram showing the Atlantic triangular slave trade. Before slave trade, Europeans came to West Africa. They came for research of gold, ivory, and diamond. That was led and sponsored by a man called King Alfonso II of Portugal.
I want to do something.
Huh?
Can I see the speaker now?
Yeah.
You want to fix it on?
If you want me, if you allow, I can do.
If I allow, you will pay money for that, even if it's token. Don't behave like an Akagon. Behave like people from Badagry Kingdom. So, you are welcome to Brazilian Barracoon. This compound is called Brazilian Barracoon, and Barracoon means slave cell, where the store slaves in those days awaiting the arrival of the slave masters, the white men, to come and buy them from here and took them away. The man you are seeing in the picture happened to be the rightful owner of this compound. The birth name of this man is Ifaremlekun. How come does his name change from Ifaremlekun to Chief Seriki Williams Abbas? That is the short story I want to tell you now.
The slave trade was finally abolished here in Badagry with the help of the man buried there, called Chief Sumbu Mobin, who died on the 16th of October 1893. During his own period, the trade finally stopped here in Badagry, but his father happened to be involved in the trade. His father was one of the middlemen between the white and the black. The father buys slaves from his fellow black and he resells to the whites. These were the original chain around their neck, and this is called the neck lock. And slaves were meant to walk with this around their neck for 18 hours every day, and this will also be around their neck for 3 to 4 months while they are traveling. Up the money this around their neck.
So you mean when even
They are walking
when they walk, they wear this kind of heavy chain on their
Yes.
neck?
For
Wow.
18 hours.
The dogs were trained to cut off the throat of the runaway slaves. And even if the slave killed the dog, the masters will release more dogs. So here we have two categories of slaves. We have the domestic slaves and the field. So domestic slave work interior, while the field work on the farm for 18 hours. But most of domestic slaves, the male were being castrated. So these are the field workers, these are the domestic workers.
40 slave cells in this compound, and each of the cells, they kept 40 slaves in each of the cells. That gave us the total number of slaves kept in this compound to be 1,600 slaves were being kept in this compound, leave the shore of this country through the slave port, across the lagoon, down to point of no return. And from point of no return, down to unknown destination. You can see the slave port and the lagoon. The lagoon was called Lagos Port Novo Lagoon or Badagry River. To the other side and trek to point of no return.
And this is a drum. The drum is called Sato drum. Sato is a spiritual drum normally beaten once in a year, and it's only beaten by the orphans.
Once in a year.
Yes. Before the drum go out, they have to consult the Ifa oracle. And this is a religion in West Africa, Vodou. That is Egungun masquerade. You know Egungun now?
Yeah. This is Egungu. Lagata.
Now you got Lagata on your own. This is our Egungun Yoruba.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
The Lagata used to do, this one used to do same thing. You have Lagata, some call it Olaga. This is another masquerade again. It's a masquerade for the Ogu people. It's why Badagry. Used to come out in the night for security, while in the day for entertainment.
It used to come out
In the night for security purpose, while in the day for entertainment. So it's for peace, unity, and justice. The way we work in Badagry, this is coconut. Is our best cash crop in Badagry. Basket, boat carving, boat making, fishing, fish smoking. A picture of Badagry in old in 1889 and present in 2019. This one is for the museum for Christmas and New Year.
Okay, it's a gift for us.
You want carry and I'm in the side. You want give us?
Yeah, I can put something inside.
You are free.
Yes.
I tried putting one in the box but found it difficult. He collected it from me as a sharp guy.
Okay.
But there's a note in Nigeria, in as much you spend it, you are still spending Manila and Cowrie. Do you know the currency? And you want to know?
I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you.
Okay.
In as much you spend 100 Naira notes, you are still spending Manila. In as much you spend 100 Naira notes, you are still spending Cowrie.
Can you please emphasize?
Do you have 100 Naira notes?
No, not really. You have 100.
So all this currency, they didn't have value in international market. We even spend bits. We spend feathers. Wait. Look at Cowrie. Look at Manila.
This is the first time I'm noticing this. Honestly.
Are you
No
sure?
lies. I never noticed that this is. Maybe it is because I'm seeing Manila for the first time. This is the first time I'm noticing it.
Even people don't notice it.
Why is it introduced in the note? 100 Naira
And
note?
because we spend it as money. And this Manila, we still have it in Central Bank of Nigeria up to today.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's just like when the Europeans stored gold in the Bank of England. So it's like we storing.
We store
Manila.
all our old currency is being stored in Central Bank. What is bargain power? We call it trade by barter. Don't give it to him. Bring it. Bring it. I want to show somebody. Not you again. Not anybody. It's for my pure water. They say bargain power. What is bargain power? We call it trade by barter. What is trade by barter? Exchange of goods with goods. Exchange of property with properties. Okay, let me say that. Let me exchange my biro with that phone. That is trade by barter. So all these things, that's what they brought about bringing their own product to Africa. Like Like umbrella, what we don't have, they bring it to Africa. They brought umbrella. Value for one umbrella is for 40 slaves. 40 women be for one umbrella. A bottle of gin, 10 slaves. Bottle of wine, 10 slaves. Long cannot go on, 100 slaves. The short one, 40 slaves. The mirror and the bill depend on how you bargain. It's a bargain. We call it bargain power. Then how you bargain. So the highest is 10. Ceramic bowl is for 10 slaves, while Dengon is for 40 slaves. Now, the kettle and the brass dish was a gift given to him when he was Toban as Seriki of Badagry Kingdom. Now, in 2019, our immediate past vice president was in this company as well to see the only surviving umbrella for 40 slaves. And the size of the cell we are talking about is 9 by 9 feet room, where they kept 40 slaves.
9 by
9 feet room.
That's very small.
And the window is very, very small as well. No ventilation. And there's nothing I want to defecate, nothing like I want to urinate. They do it on themselves inside the cell. That's how some of them suffocate inside the cell and die. Why? Because of the heat and the odor that the perceive inside the cell. So let's go and see the cell. And likewise, the only surviving umbrella for 40 slaves. Are you eager to see it? Or you don't want to see it?
I will see it.
Okay, let's go there.
So
Okay.
for the children not to be playing about while the parents are working on the farm, so as not to disturb the parents, they gather the children together. About 3-4 of them, they train them together like this. Then they padlock it. They make them sit under a tree, far from where the parents are working. All this is called the mouth clip. For them not to communicate with one another while working on the farm, they perforate the upper and the lower lips with hot iron. They fix this. They pull out the lips, then they padlock the lips like this and like that. This was a torture weapon used for the stubborn slaves. They force this into the hand. This doesn't go in easily most of the time, so they have to force it down by breaking the bones here. They force this down to the wrist. They make them climb a tall platform. They screw this up to a taller tree. Then they suspend the slave leg from the ground. The slave will not be hanging dangling, and because of this, most of them die. Because this is grinding iron. Slaves don't bear any name in that period. They bear their master's name or any name the master choose to give them. So for identification of slaves, they put this in fire. When this is now ready, they use this to write the name of the master on the body of the slave. We call that slave branding.
So let me get this right. The Europeans were the one that does this particular thing.
Yes.
The branding and the sealing and all those
Yes.
kind of tortures.
This is called the ankle lock, and this was used on the leg of 2 slaves. 2 slaves are meant to walk with this around their leg. At the same time, the right foot and the left one, that they padlock it. So they are meant to walk together at the same place. So this here is a slave drinking water bowl, and about 40 to 50 slaves were meant to drink water from the bowl at the same time, with the hands being tied to their back. They bend down and drink like animals. And in the course of struggling, they push one another. They get caught by the edge, blood drips into the water. They have no choice. They keep drinking the water like that because they have access to food and water just once in a day.
So this is the only surviving umbrella for 40 slaves, for 40 human beings. This is the umbrella.
So you mean one slave has to carry this umbrella?
Yes.
So if he displaces the umbrella, they will have to bear it
The beard is still made.
immediately.
Yes. Meaning that you want to kill Seriki, but you don't know how heavy the umbrella is. You don't know, maybe it is light or heavy. So from here you can lift it up.
Let me try with one hand.
From here. No, you try with one hand because when you want to carry umbrella, even on your head, you use one hand, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you use one hand and pull it.
Wow.
But you will hold it until I finish my talking.
Is it possible?
Are you sure?
Wow. This is heavy. Let me try 2 and 2. So one person would carry this for hours.
Yes.
And if the person displaces
Depending
it,
on
it will be bearded.
how long Seriki want to spend outside.
Spend outside. And this is exchanged for
40 slaves,
40 slaves.
40 human beings.
This is exchanged for 40 humans,
Yes.
40 lives, for just one of these. This shows.
Let me just show you inside for you to know that that is the umbrella.
40 humans. So this is the only ventilation here.
Yes. So these are the ceramic bowl for 13 slave each. Meaning that we have 50 people lying down here now. And look at the cooking pot of Seriki, the water pot, the water jug whenever you want to drink water or eat. And this is the tea jug as well. The cowrie, the brass dish given to him as a gift by a Brazilian friend, the highest medal then from Vienna in 1873. And this cell is for the men. This cell is for the men.
So how many people stays here?
40 men.
40 men stays in this particular cell.
Room. Yes. So they kept 2 slave cells so that people can come and see the pains and agony of our forefathers in those days. So this is one of the ones that was kept. So this is the court of Chief Seriki William Sabas, where he used to pass judgments to any disloyal slave. And this is where he passes judgment to the one they want to behead, the slave they want to kill, the one they want to hang. This is where he passes his judgment. And sometimes they still use here as meeting palace for councils of Oba. And here, they buried the last born of Seriki called Chief Saka Seriki Abbas, born 1913, died 1987. And when he died, he was buried here. Beside his father died 6 years after he gave back to this man. He died. I mean Seriki. He died and was buried here. Seriki died June 11, 1919. June 11, 1919, Seriki died and was buried here. So the cells we're talking about started from here. It goes round in this compound, likewise in the middle. 40 slaves here in this compound, and each of the cells, they kept 40 slaves in each of the cell. And the total number of slaves kept in this compound is 1,600 slaves were being kept in this compound, leave the shore of this country through that slave port outside, across the lagoon, down to point of no return.
It is really a difficult thing to experience this as a human being. Quick stop at a local restaurant.
Yes, sir. We just got done at the Slave Museum here. Yeah, right here in Badagry. We are heading to the first story building. I think it's not more than about 1 kilometer. Okay, just a kilometer walk from here, but we decided to drive there. So
next stop was the first story building in Nigeria, built in the year 1845.
You are welcome to the 4-story building in Nigeria.
thank you.
Which this building was constructed or completed in 1845 by Reverend Goldman. And this building is standing for just 3 years now, 179 years. These are the materials which were used for the construction. Iron corrugated sheet. The wood which was constructed in 1842 was used for this building. Then the hinge and the bolt book. These are the materials that were used, and the man said the building cost £325.
325 pounds.
Yes.
So is this wood maintained or it was restructured?
This very one is restructured. So
Okay.
this is the room of Badagry Crowder.
Okay.
And this is where he completed the translation of the English Bible into Yoruba. And this Bible here is the first known English Bible in Nigeria, brought in December 17, 1842, 182 years ago. And this is the first translated Yoruba Bible, the first printed copy of it, which was translated by the Crowder in this room and was brought to Badagry in 1846. So this room hangs the pictures for the Hall of Fame, like I used to call it. Reverend Thomas Bach Freeman from the Wesleyan Methodist Church became the first to preach Christianity in Badagry, which marks the beginning of Christianity in Nigeria as well. 24th of September 1842. Reverend Henry Townsend from CMS, which is Anglican Church, arrived December 17 and later joined him to celebrate the first Christmas in Badagry. And this here is the last surviving furniture of this house. And so far it has spent 146 years in this compound. So this well here is the first well that was dug by the CMS in 1842. And today it has remained the only drinkable water in this region here, in this locality here. And it has been renamed Miracle Well today, not because of that, but because people come here, fetch the water and use it for prayer, and most of them return testimony. And today, it still is clean, of course.
I heard this is the miracle water, so you never can tell. want to experiment and come back and testify also. So I think I heard you have to use it to wash your head or something like that. And drink a little. Okay.
Next stop was to the point of no return, which was on the other side of the river, in which we had to take a boat to. But before then, we stopped at a local market to try fresh palm wine and also a certain herb made with palm wine that cures malaria.
So this one works for malaria like this. Look at that. How does it taste?
Nah, it's just trying to be nice.
Malaria. And they are all Nigerians. What do you
So when the slaves were taken from the waterfront, so the ship be waiting for them at the high sea. This one wasn't there then. They don't put them straight to the seashore and use a small canoe to take them into the ship. That is why when the ship is overloaded at the high sea, they throw some slave alive into the ocean to make the ship lighter. When the shark were disturbing the ship at the high sea, they throw some slave alive into the ocean to divert the attention of the fish. Can you imagine that? So that is why it's called point of no return.
So what is the need of carrying those much slaves when they know they will still throw away some in the high sea?
That is greediness, because they place low or no values on the African slaves. That's it. So let's see the waterfront.
So this was meant to be a sort of like
Like a view center.
a viewing center.
As we're here now, we're just going round back to the back over there. This is point of no return. And should be return. See the ocean. For the ship, not come here. Like ground. So they anchor the ship. You get to Benin Republic, you get to Lomé, you get to Ghana, you get to Cote d'Ivoire, it's Abidjan. That's the west coast.
So like this now, we can use like a boat from here. So don't be far to Benin Republic. Is that it?
It's not fact. Doctor arranged them here. Navigate this way to the West Indies. That is Caribbean island. Caribbean is somewhere here. Right, the Asia Sea somewhere here. Check the map. That's it. That's why it's called point of no return. Once again, my name is Mr. Michael. Like I've said, I'm the chief. Chief Osewa Michael. I'm not tour guide, but
Nice meeting you, Chief Asuanu Michael.
Although I had fun in Badagry, but I could not take my mind off the pains, the torture and suffering my ancestors had to go through.
I was really surprised that we were the one that sold ourselves. I initially thought maybe the whites came to Africa and they just maybe fought wars and enslaved us, and I didn't know that most of the locals were part of the people that orchestrated this particular trade. And according to what they said, this trade was in existence even before the Europeans came to Africa.
As we walk through the echoes of Badagry's past, we cannot forget the unimaginable pain, suffering endured by our ancestors. Chained, dehumanized, and stripped of their freedom. They were traded like commodities. 40 lives, 40 human souls were once exchanged for a single umbrella. A symbol of greed, ignorance, and fleeting value of material possessions. Today, that umbrella holds no worth. All the things we chase, all the things we fight over will one day become irrelevant. This history reminds us of the fragility of humanity and the emptiness of material pursuits. But it also calls to something greater, to love, to respect, and to cherish one another. In a world where so much has been lost, let us hold on to kindness, to understanding, and to unity. And yet, in Badagry, amidst the scars of history, we find a people filled with calmness, warmth, and unwavering friendliness. They remind us that love can endure and respect can prevail, even in the shadow of pain. Let this story not just be a tale of suffering, but a call to action, a reminder to value what truly matters and to build a future rooted in love for all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help grow my channel.